What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome into 2021. On today's video, we're going to talk about arguably the best core in all of bowling, the gear core. Stay tuned after the intro. The gear core has been around in our product line for a very long time. But what makes this gear core so good and, more importantly, so versatile? Well, I've always said that the gear core had those magic numbers when talking about the RG and the differential. But before we get into the details of the gear core, I think it's important that we talk about what the RG is and what the differential is. So the RG stands for radius of gyration. The lower that number is, the earlier the ball will be, and then the higher that number is, the longer the ball will be. I've seen the RGs as low as like 2.47 and as high as like 2.55, 2.57. So the closer you get to 2.47, the earlier the ball is going to want to be. And then, of course, the cover is going to dictate everything, but we're only talking about the core numbers. And then the closer you get to 2.57 and higher, the longer the ball is going to be. And then when we talk about the differential, it's talking about how much flare the ball is going to produce. The highest that you can get to is 0.060, and then that's going to produce the maximum amount of flare allowed by the USBC, and then all the way down to 0.00, which is zero flare. This gear core comes in with an RG of 2.48, which is almost as low as you can go, and then it has a max differential of 0.034, which is in kind of that medium category when it comes to flare potential. Now, what makes this gear core so special in my eyes is that most balls that have an RG that low are usually paired up with a very high differential. When you put a low RG and a medium differential in a core, it's going to scream versatility. We currently have 3 balls on our ball chart that have this gear core, and all 3 of them are amazing pieces, and all 3 of them roll completely different from one another. If you guys like this video and you like the content that I'm creating, I would super appreciate if you hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date every time I drop a new video. And if you like this jersey or any of the jerseys in any of my videos, you can head on over to logoinfusion.com, use my promo code Lewis, and that'll save you 20% off your entire order. And then down below in the description, I have links to everything that I used to make this video, from the camera to the chamois to the bowling balls on the lanes, anything in between. I have links to everything down below. The first ball that we're going to talk about that has the gear core is arguably the best bowling ball that Motiv has ever made. It is the Venom Shock. The Venom Shock features the Turmoil medium friction solid cover that comes out of box at a 4000 grit laser scan sand. The layout on my Venom Shock is 40 by 4.5 by 20. And then for this video, the 3 balls that I'm going to show you are all at their box finishes. So this Venom Shock is finished at 4000 for this video. The next ball I'm going to show you is the Tank Blitz. The Tank Blitz features a Frixion Plus microcell polymer cover, which comes out of box at a 2000 grit laser scan sand. And then the layout on my Blitz is 40 by 4.5 by 20. And then the third and final ball that I'm going to show you is the Fatal Venom. The Fatal Venom has the Infusion Pearl cover, which comes out of box at a 5500 laser scan polish. And then the layout on my Fatal Venom is 50 by 4.5 by 35. Let me know down below in the comments if you have any of these balls that have the gear core in them and what you think about them. What makes this gear core so special is that they wrapped it in 3 completely different cover stocks. They gave it a solid reactive, a solid microcell, and a pearl reactive. And all 3 bowling balls are incredibly unique bowling balls, and all 3 are amazing. I'm going to take you guys out on the lanes now so you can see the Venom Shock, the Tank Blitz, and the Fatal Venom in action. Thank you guys for joining me for this analysis of the gear core featuring the Tank Blitz, the Venom Shock, and the Fatal Venom. Now, as always, I'm going to show you every single shot that I threw in this session. My goal is to show you the differences in all these bowling balls. The only way to do that is to show you the good shots as well as the bad shots. Now, these 3 balls, the Blitz, the Shock, and the Fatal, all roll completely different, but all share the same core. And I think that's what makes this core so special, just how versatile it is. And then when we look at the Fatal Venom, this Infusion Pearl cover wrapped around the gear core is absolutely magic. This Fatal Venom wants to get down lane and wants to create a lot of shape, significantly more shape than the Venom Shock and the Tank Blitz. The Fatal Venom for me right now is my favorite ball into like game 3, into game 4, when I really got to get left and create a lot of shape. When I think of the Tank Blitz, I think of like the ultimate control ball. This ball is very, very early, but it is extremely continuous. It handles the very high volumes very, very well. And then on these short patterns, because the ball doesn't boom down lane, it is a very, very good option. And then when we talk about the Venom Shock, there's not much more that needs to be said or that can even be said for just how special this bowling ball is. It is truly the greatest bowling ball that Motiv has ever made. And I would venture to say that it's one of the greatest bowling balls ever made. Period. It's not as early as the Tank Blitz, but definitely earlier than the Fatal Venom. And then it creates a little bit less shape down lane than the Fatal Venom, but significantly more shape than the Tank Blitz. It is just one of these bowling balls that does everything really, really good. It's a ball that I have thrown on short and have found a lot of success with. I have thrown it on medium and found a lot of success with. And then very recently, I threw it on the 48-foot sharp, and it looked amazing on that pattern. It is a ball that is the ultimate versatility ball. Now, I don't want this video to be all about the Venom Shock, but the reason the Gear Core became so wildly popular was because of this Venom Shock. The Venom Shock created a path for all these future bowling balls that have this Gear Core. In fact, I can't even imagine building an arsenal that doesn't have at least 1 or 2 balls that have the Gear Core in them. By my count, we have had 9 bowling balls that have featured the Gear Core throughout Motiv's history. All 9 of these bowling balls, in my opinion, were all very good balls, especially for their time. So the first one we had was the GT1, which was a pearl. Then we had the Venom Strike, which was the first Venom ball, and that was a solid. Then we had the Camo Green Tank, which was our first urethane ball, and that one is a ball that is extremely sought after even to this day. The next one was the Venom Toxin, which was a hybrid. Venom Panic, which was a pearl. Tank Rampage, which was a urethane ball. And then the 3 on our current ball chart is the Venom Shock, the Fatal Venom, and the Tank Blitz. So that's 9 balls dating back to 2009 that have used all different covers: pearls, solids, hybrids, urethane, microcell. And the reason this core keeps coming back time after time after time is just because of how versatile it is. It almost doesn't matter what cover you put on this core, it is going to roll very, very well. All 9 of the bowling balls that I just listed have all been really, really good bowling balls, especially for the time in which they were released. Now, when it comes time to suggesting what ball or recommending what ball you should add to your bag, it is impossible to do this without first saying that everyone needs to have a Venom Shock in their bag. It is the best ball that Motiv has ever made, and we are incredibly fortunate that it is still around in the current ball chart. So if you're someone who is rev dominant, maybe your ball speed is a little bit lower and your rev rate is a lot higher than your ball speed, I would highly recommend going with the Fatal Venom, because it's a ball that's going to get down lane for you and create a lot of that shape. And then if you're someone who is speed dominant, where maybe your rev rate is a little bit lower and you tend to throw the ball past the breakpoint a lot, something like the Tank Blitz would be a very, very good option for you. I'm even thinking that you can create a solid 3-ball arsenal for League using only this Gear Core, where on the fresh you would start with a Tank Blitz from a little bit straighter with your angles a little bit more shut down, and then as you have to chase the pattern a little bit more left, you go into the Venom Shock, where it's going to give you a lot of the same motion up front but more shape down lane. And then once you really open up the pattern, you can get into that Fatal Venom and chase it as far left as you need to, and trust that the ball is still going to come around the corner. And as always, remember to #GetMotivated. Well, there you have it, folks. There's my analysis of the Gear Core. Let me know down below in the comments what you thought about this video, and if you would like to see more videos like this in the future. Click right here to watch one of my other videos. Click right here to subscribe. Till next time, guys.